right, I'm joined in the booth by Ben Callaway after the final round of the Jonesboro Open. Ben tied for second place off the chase card. Can you explain your emotions right now?
My emotions are a little, bittersweet. I had the lead for quite some time going into the last stretch, and then ended up throwing my disco B on hole 18, which sealed my second place finish. But other than that, it's hard to really describe what I'm feeling because come so close and yet so far.
Yeah. What was it like playing with the lead? Did you know that you were? I mean, you knew that you had the lead. How did you find that out?
I was checking scores around this, which is something I don't normally do, but I was checking scores around 10, 11, or 12, somewhere around that stretch, and realized that I was like tied with the lead, and I was like, okay, I'm playing pretty well here, so just keep up the pace. And then I found out that I had like a two-stroke lead on hole 14, so I was just thinking in my head, if I can go like 3, maybe 4 out of these last few, I can probably potentially win, if not tie. So that was my mindset going in, just keep my foot on the pedal.
Was that something that you feel like you learned from this whole experience that you're going to use for the rest of the season?
I would say so. I don't think I haven't been in, well, I've been in this position once before with Maple Hill, but not like coming down to the stretch like that, where it came down literally to the last hole. So yeah, it's definitely a learning experience, and I'll take it with, as well as I can for the future events. But all in all, I'm happy with it.
All right, well, there's Ben Callaway. Ben, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Nate, fantastic interview with AB. Just so many good words and so many good things to take away from that. But let's talk about Ben Callaway and his interview first. I feel like Ben carried himself about as good as you possibly could, despite a couple of really rough breaks that happened late in the round for him. That was a champion I saw playing today. What do you feel like you made of Ben's effort today?
I mean, where are the tears at? I know there's tears out there because for him to hold himself together when he was so close to that first Disc Golf Pro Tour win, it really felt like it was his day. And the moment that I really thought that it was Ben's is the way that he bounced back from the spit out. I mean, he absolutely parked hole 11 into a nasty wind, threw a flex, and then this moment right here, I mean, this is straight to the gut. No one likes to spit out. You said it in your check-in. When the wind's blowing 30 miles per hour, Brian, in your face, like, you have to make a decision.
You gotta putt hard.
Do you just
You
toss
have
a
to putt
soft one
hard.
up there upside down, or you just jam it in
No.
there? You can't.
Nope.
You've got to put it hard. So he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he even barely put it above the rim too, and it still just went off the pole and out. And yeah, we can say, hey, equipment malfunction, like, but it
No.
just it happens. It happens, and you have to bounce back from it. And he did. He birdied 12, he birdied 13, and he collected himself. It was the putt on 15 when he's looking at the crowd where things just didn't feel right. It just
Yeah.
it didn't seem like he was settled in. He was a little weight forward right there. And I know there's a little bit of a hill, but that putt right there is the one that's really going to haunt him. I don't think it's going to be the spit out. It's going to be that putt right there. And then potentially the drive on 18. He had 2 discs in his hands. I think he was looking either up the middle, the little flex, but there was just enough wind. A little bit of right to left out there, was it, Brian?
Yeah. Here's the thing, Nate. All day, he had thrown that orange Nuke OS, that really coveted run of that disc. Anthony Barella has one in his bag as well. He threw that disc so well all day. Every single time it felt like it was in his hand. He executed perfectly. He was leaning on it. He parked hole 11, which gave him that nasty spit out. And then he goes away from it on 18. He could have leaned into it a little bit, given it a little bit more turn, but he went for the power hyzer, which he totally can do. But you have to rotate those shoulders so high. You have to get the disc so high in the air. The wind had calmed down at that point. He could have done it, and just the moment it left his hand, all of us knew it was pretty much over for him. And it's just so heartbreaking because, Nate, he works so hard at this, and he has worked so hard at this for so long. And I think he's going to be grateful walking away that he was able to be a part of this ridiculous battle. I think it's going to give him the confidence to keep moving forward. I saw a different version of him today, especially on the mental front. That was just an incredible bounce back from something that I think would rattle so many other players in this division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it does one of two things. It either breaks you down and it makes you want to give up, after 13 years of being a professional, or it makes you, a stronger player. And the way that Ben is conducting himself after losing in kind of that dramatic fashion, to me, it's clear that it's going to help him on his journey to becoming a champion, because it's not getting any easier, Brian. It wasn't easy in 2016 when he played his first Disc Golf Pro Tour, and it's certainly not easy now in 2024. But he showed this week that he does have what it takes to compete with the big dogs out there.
Hands down, and he has for a long time. I just think it's those moments that late 11 that would have ruined him before, but now we see a version of him that he's been striving to get to this point for so long mentally, where he can snap back from something that makes you feel like such a victim. How could this happen to me in this moment? He shook his head a little bit on the tee of the next hole, and then he instantly, body language changed. He snapped back into focus. You could see the sense of urgency building. I need to keep getting birdies. I need to keep rattling off good drives. And he did exactly that. He did everything he needed to do, minus the tee shot on hole number 18. I actually really commend him for what he tried doing on hole number 17. He hits early, and he saw that he had an open look. He threw a beautiful committed flex shot with a fairway driver and just slid OB long, makes the comeback to save the par and keep himself in it. Just fantastic stuff. And the other thing I have to note, he stuck to his guns on hole 14. He got himself within 38 feet for an eagle putt, and that's a treacherous green. We've seen discs roll down into the gully with absolutely no look. Ben instantly threw that shot, knew it was a good landing, and said, I'm laying that up no matter what. I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to take the stress-free par. I'm on a high wavelength right now. I want to stay there. I don't care about the risk to take one extra stroke, especially with the wind blowing the way it is. He could spit out and then roll down into the gully. So I just commend him for sticking to his guns and doing everything he could to win this. Again, only one person could win. Ezra was in it. Calvin was in it. Simon was in it for a little bit. I mean, it was just a ridiculous final day.